If you're planning to buy the Galaxy Fit 3 and especially if you enjoyed my previous Galaxy Fit 3 video, in this video we're going to go through every user interface this band has. You can watch the previous video for the full product details and unboxing. First, by swiping up, you can see a list of applications. The order of applications can be changed in the Galaxy Wearable app, but this is how I've ordered mine. The first one is the alarm app, which works just like the alarm on your phone. You can set alarms that are separate from your phone or turn the alarms on your phone on or off. And you can also do the same things in reverse. The band only vibrates because it doesn't have any speakers. Next, we have the timer, which works just like the timer on your phone. You can set a custom timer or select one of the presets. Next is Samsung Health, where you can see a list of workout details. In the settings sections, you can change the heart rate measurement settings just like you can in the health sections of the Wearable app. You can set it to measure continuously every 10 minutes or manually. You can also enable notifications if your heart rate goes above or below a number that you set. You can also enable stress measurement and configure similar settings for it. And you can enable activity detection and inactive time notifications. The important things to mention is that you need to be logged into your Samsung account. Next, we have the weather app. Nothing fancy here. It's basically your phone's weather app squeezed onto a small screen. Next is the calculator. Then we have Find My Phone. If your phone is within range, the band will make it vibrate and the phone will ring, so you can easily find it. Next is the camera shutter. I really like this one. It's useful for taking photos of yourself from a distance. It even has a 3-second timer, so you can pause during that time instead of having to look at the band. Next is the stopwatch app. Then we have the media controller. I find this one a little buggy because it may not work with some third-party media player applications. Next is the word clock. Then we have calendar. You can simply see a list of your events for the day, or you can switch to the month view. I find it interesting that you can select individual days, so you can only see the basic calendar dates. However, the week view gives you a little more details with colorful dots underneath each date. And then we have settings. The first item is modes, which works similarly to Samsung modes such as sleep or theater. Next is notifications. You can set the band to show notifications when your phone is in use or when it isn't. You can also set it to mute the phone when a notification is shown on the band. It even has a do not disturb option. This can be synced with your phone's do not disturb mode if you want, and I'll show you that later in the video. In the advanced notification settings, you can choose to show a notification indicator like this orange dot you can see here. You can also choose to show the details of notifications or turn the screen on where a notification is received. There is also an option to automatically enable notifications for each newly installed application. In the Wearable app, there is a section where you can select which applications are allowed to send notifications to the band. By enabling this option, newly installed applications will automatically have notification access enabled. Next is vibration. You can mute vibration or change the vibration intensity, duration, and pattern for notifications and calls. You can also set vibration for system events such as when the band is charging. Next is display. Here you can change the display brightness and enable or disable always on display. As you can see here, this band has a pretty good always on display. The other display settings include raise wrist to wake, touch screen to wake, show media controls when you're listening to something, screen timeout, and finally my favorite one, show last app. This option is useful when you're using an application, then move your wrist and screen turns off. With this time window setting, if you raise your wrist again, the last application you were using will appear automatically without needing to navigate to it manually. Showing charging information is the last display option. Next is health setting. These are exactly the same setting we saw in the health section of the application. Next is security and privacy, where you can set a pattern or pin as your lock screen. One thing that's missing here is the ability to choose how long the band stays unlocked after you unlock it. There's also no option to lock the band by pressing the side button. There's only a wrist detection setting here, which helps the band detect whether it's on your wrist for things like showing notifications. Next is safety and emergency. Here you can set your medical information, emergency contacts, emergency SOS, and heart fall detection. Next is advanced features. Here you can set disconnection alerts, enable water lock to lock the screen while you're showering or swimming, set a custom app for double press of the side button, or change the status indicator duration. Next is general. Here you can set the orientation of the band, basically whether you want to wear it on your left or right hand, and you can also change the button position. You may want to wear the band upside down so the button is on the other side. This setting will flip the entire screen. Next is tips and tutorials, and finally about band. Now let's go to the quick panel by swiping down. You can customize these options in the Wearable app. The first option is the power off button. Then we have the flashlight button, which displays a white screen that you can use as a flashlight. It's not bad for situations where it's completely dark. You can also swipe right to get a flashing red screen that you can use to request help. We also have airplane mode, the display brightness option, and the do not disturb option, which you can set to sync with your phone's do not disturb mode. By swiping right, you can see the tiles. The most important tile is the heart rate monitor. Next is weather tile. Then we have battery tile, where you can see the battery levels of your connected devices. For example, if I connect my Galaxy Buds, I can see their battery levels here. And you can add more tiles. We have blood oxygen, cycle tracking, daily activity, food, health summary, multi-workouts, sleep, steps, stress, together, water, monthly calendar, today's event, weather, and many more. The important things to know is that the order of the tiles can only be changed in the Wearable app, but you can remove any tile at any time by holding it and clicking the minus icon. One advantage of adding tiles through the Wearable app is that you can preview the tile before adding it. By swiping left, you can see your notifications. The setting icon takes you to the notification settings we saw earlier. You can reply to text messages using predefined replies that you set in the Wearable app, or you can choose to show the conversation on your phone. And finally, you can change the watch face anytime by touching and holding and choosing from the 10 watch faces you selected. Now let's go to the Wearable app and see what this band offers. The first option is to change the watch face. If you go to manage, you can change the order of watch faces or remove some of them from your favorites. If you already have 10 favorite watch faces selected, you first need to remove one from your favorites before you can add another. Adding a watch face also takes a little bit of time. The second option in the Wearable app lets you reorder application list. There is no way to add or remove application from this list, or even deactivate some of them. Next, we have the option to add or remove tiles and reorder them. Then we have the option to customize the control panel. In band settings, we have modes which don't offer anything particularly special. In the notification settings, we have many of the same options we saw previously on the band. You can change which applications are allowed to show notifications on the band. You can also enable the sync do not disturb with phone option. As I mentioned earlier, the vibration setting doesn't have any special options. The same is true for the display section. The health section has exactly the same setting as the health settings on the band. The same is also true for safety and emergency. Account and backup is where you can set up your Samsung account. Advanced features has this exact same settings that we saw on the band. General section is where you can add quick responses for replying to text notifications or add custom messages for rejecting calls. And finally, we have the band update section. There is also a find my band option that will only make the band vibrate. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.